Hey everyone, welcome back to the Turing Test podcast. I'm Jamie, and today we're diving into a topic that's kind of a big deal right now. AI and big data, managing and analyzing these massive data sets. And joining me is Rachel, who always has a lot to say about this stuff. So Rachel, how's it going?
Hey, Jamie, I'm good. Thanks. And yeah, AI and big data, it's like the Wild West out there, right? Everyone's trying to figure out how to handle all this information. It's pretty crazy.
Totally. And it's not just about having all this data, but what do you do with it? How do you even start to make sense of it all?
Exactly. And that's where AI comes in, right? It's supposed to help us make sense of all this chaos. But I think there's a lot of hype around it too. Like people expect AI to just magically solve everything.
Yeah, like it's some kind of wizard or something. But seriously, there's a lot of potential there. Look at how AI is being used in healthcare, for example. It's helping to predict diseases, personalized treatments, and all that.
Sure, but let's not forget the ethical concerns. Who owns this data? How do we ensure privacy? It's not just about the tech, it's about the people too.
Right. And speaking of people, there's also the issue of jobs. Like, is AI going to take over everything and leave us all unemployed?
Oh, come on, Jamie. That's such a cliche. Sure, some jobs might disappear, but new ones will pop up too. It's more about adaptation than anything else.
Yeah, but not everyone can just adapt overnight, right? Look at the current events. With all the layoffs in tech, people are worried.
True, but that's why education is key. People need to upskill and stay relevant. It's not like AI is going away anytime soon.
Speaking of education, by the way, before we continue, just a quick shout out to Augmented AI, the producer of the Turing Test podcast. Augmented AI hosts a variety of cutting-edge courses in generative AI, large language models, edge AI, robotics, and computer vision. You can get a free generative AI course at bit.ly/Turing Test podcast or go to www.augmentedstartups.com.
Nice plug, Jamie. But back to the topic. What about the biases in AI? These systems are only as good as the data they're trained on, right? And if that data is biased, well, you get biased outcomes.
Yeah, that's a huge issue. And it's not just about the data, but also the people designing these systems. If you have a bunch of similar-minded folks creating AI, you're going to get a narrow perspective.
Exactly, and that's why diversity in tech is so important. We need different voices and experiences to make AI more inclusive and fair.
But how do we get there? It's not like you can just snap your fingers and suddenly have a diverse workforce.
Well, it starts with education and opportunities. Companies need to actively seek out diverse talent and create an environment where everyone feels welcome.
Yeah, easier said than done, right? There's a lot of systemic issues to tackle.
True. We can't just sit around and do nothing. Change takes time, but it's definitely possible.
So, what do you think about the role of government in all this? Should they be stepping in more to regulate AI and big data?
That's a tricky one. On one hand, you don't want too much regulation stifling innovation, but on the other hand, there needs to be some oversight to protect people.
Yeah, it's a fine line to walk. And with technology moving so fast, it's hard for regulations to keep up.
Exactly. But I think collaboration between governments, tech companies, and the public is key. We need to work together to find the right balance.
And speaking of balance, what about the environmental impact of all this data? Those data centers use a ton of energy.
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge concern. We need to find more sustainable ways to manage and store data. Otherwise, we're just trading one problem for another.
And some companies are already working on that, like using renewable energy for their data centers. But there's still a long way to go.
Definitely. And it's not just about the big players. Everyone needs to do their part, from individuals to small businesses.
So, Rachel, what do you think is the future of AI and big data? Where are we headed?
Well, I think we're just scratching the surface. There's so much potential, but we need to be careful. We can't just rush in without thinking about the consequences.
Yeah, and I think collaboration is key. We need to work together to make sure AI and big data are used for good.
Agreed. And it's not just about the technology, but also the people behind it. We need to focus on education, diversity, and ethics.
Well, Rachel, it's been a great discussion. And for our listeners, don't forget to check out Augmented AI University to upgrade your skills and become an AI expert fast. Go to bit.ly/Turing Test Podcast to enroll in your free cutting-edge AI course at augmentedstartups.com. See you next time.
Thanks, Jamie. And thanks to everyone for tuning in. Until next time, keep questioning and keep learning.